VA hospital. Got to get a yearly checkup. I got to draw blood. Get vaccinated right over there. Just had some food. Had some chicken and noodles. It's good. Throw down on these peaches. Really like peaches. But yeah, so gotta come here once a year, because if you don't, then they're going to pretty much say, well, you don't need us. I don't want no parts of that. So I get my medicine from here. And if I need any operation, they outsource from here. So last operation I had was 2 years ago. I had a hernia. So they went ahead and sent me down to Grant Hospital. They said they couldn't do it themselves because my breathing canal, and I have all this breathing problems, you'll see, snoring and whatnot. They're like, your canal is too small. So they didn't have the, stuff to put me to sleep correctly while they cut me open and put mesh inside of me. So, yeah, that happened. Operation I had before that was I had one on my shoulder. They sent me to Dayton for that. And I had an operation on my foot, had a bunion. Sent me to Dayton for that. My hair. So they outsource a lot, but they build a triage here. Yeah, they build a whole triage. But this hospital still closes. VA hospitals do not stay open 24/7. Close. At 6 o'clock. They also used to have the Veterans Service Commission or something like that here, where you could apply for all your, VA stuff, and then it goes to the government, and then so they can tell you no. But this is where I would come to finish my degree. Come up here, they send out information. Yeah, that's how I finished my degree here. Then I applied here and they told me no. It's like, I got a degree now. It's like, come on, let me get in this door. They're like, nah, no job for you, sir. You guys spend all that money sending me to school and won't give me a job? Now, how ass backwards is that? You got all these jobs here and you won't let me get in one. But you paid for my college. Thousands of dollars. You paid for that. But you won't hire me. Does this seem suspicious? In my Dr. Umar voice. It's suspect, ain't it? So, yeah, okay. whatever. So I had my degree for a couple of years, but the only place I thought about, well, that was the only place that wanted to actually hire me. I didn't need a degree. They wanted to hire me as an ombudsman, but they wanted me to volunteer for it. So they wanted me to be a volunteer with no clear line of sight of actually being an ombudsman for the Department of Health. Nope, no, not doing that. You know, I went through their little studies and everything, but I decided I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to work for free. Now, the good thing about volunteering is you get experience. I don't have any experience in the health department. Nonetheless, I still wasn't feeling that. You know, an ombudsman is a cool job, but you're not giving me no stipend for gas, and I got to travel. See, I thought I was going to be able to sit in my crib and do it. Nah, they was like, nah, you got to go out. I was like, nah, they was like, you got to go out at least once a month for, you know, at least got to clock in 4 hours in a month. If you want to do more, that's fine. I'm not doing 4 hours nowhere for free unless I want to do it. So, I don't know. I just took issue with it, but I don't know, maybe I should have done it. You know, get their little certifications. But what I wanted to do is get certified and then go and be ombudsman on my own. I wanted to go ahead and, you know, set up my little website, be like ombudsman, you know, certified by the state. Let go. That's what I wanted. They was like, no, you can't do that. Like, why not? Why can't I, you know, have these hospitals, workplaces? I mean, I was looking at it as a whole business. I was like, shoot, I could be certified ombudsman, you know, coupled with my degree, and then start hiring people to do different things. STNA, nurses, RNs, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I was going to do. Like, shoot, let me go ahead and build a business, but start off as, you know, get my foot in the door so I can start seeing some HICFAs. You know what I'm saying? So I can know what I'm talking about when I roll up in the office. Yeah, let me see that HICFA right there. Let me see that, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it. That's all I wanted to do. They was like, nah, you can't do that. So it kind of bugged me out a little bit. But, you know, I'm not trying to be, thanks for the like. I'm not trying to be, I don't really dig working for anybody too long. Not unless, like I was looking at, you know, I was talking to, you know, some working for a car company. You know, she was like, you know, she was saying how they make, you know, how much they make. And then she was like, but you would come in and you would make more, you know, if you had like a specialty, you know, you aim towards that, get some little classes in, goes, you know, you be aiming towards 60 and 70. And I started calculating that. I was like, 70 a year, 6,000 a month. Take away everything. Take away your, you know, your health care. Take away your, you know, 7,000 a month is nice. It's nice. Trust. You know, I was like, it's almost 7,000 a month. I was like, that's nice. Then I thought about what I was doing, my little hustle. I've done 6 Gs before on my own. In a month. Then I start thinking, if I did both, sold refrigerators and worked for someone, I could pull down 10 Gs a month. So it's not that I wouldn't work for somebody. I would. I'd work my ass off if I could see that I could stack. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not really into big spending. I have the 2 vehicles I want. I'm not gonna buy a house. I'm gonna rent. Everything else is stacking to me. So if I can pull down, hey, what's going on, Star? If I can pull down 10 Gs in a month, or if I can pull down 6 Gs in a month, I'm gonna stack half of it. I'm gonna stack. I'm gonna take $3,000 and I'm stacking it. And I'm gonna put it into a VTI or a VOO. I've been losing money on the stock market, so I've been like I've been frustrated with the stock market. The stock market is I've lost money on the stock market. Let's just be honest, and it's still going down. So, but one stock that I had is actually starting to come up, but I'm still at a $400 loss on it. At one time, I was at a $700 loss on one end, and on the other end, I had lost like $1,200. So I said, you know what? I lost this $1,200. But I'm gonna keep the one that lost like another $700-800 and see if I get that money back. And sure enough, that money's starting to come back. Now it's $400 loss, and I figure that's all within the span of less than a month or a month and a half, or about a month. So I'm like, so it looks like it's gonna recover, and then eventually I'll get the $1,200 I lost back. So it's gonna take me like it'll probably take me 6 months to get all of it back if I just leave it alone and let it do its own thing and stay the course. So I'm not even gonna mess with it, because now I see it's gaining. I gained $200 in one day off of it. Just letting it sit there, I ain't even bother it. Boom, $228. And now it's up again. So I looked at it this morning and my gain was $56. So I figured by the end of the day it's going to be about $50 or $60. And tomorrow it'll probably go up again, another 2 points or 0.2%, about another $100 and something. And then the next day it'll go down, and I'll lose $30, $40. And that's just how it goes. When it hits its slump, you lose. But if you pull out, you lose everything. If you stay in, you're gonna get it back. So I learned that the hard way, lost some good money, but now that I know, I just don't even bother it. I look at it, but another thing I don't do to it is I don't add to it. So yeah, but I'm all about stacking. So yeah, I was talking to another YouTuber, and they was like, yeah, come work for these people over here. I'm not really good at working for somebody. Unless I can see myself prospering. Like, if I can see a wider picture other than just coming to work for you every day, yeah. If I can see a big picture, and now that's pretty much what I'm seeing. So if I can jump in the door at, 50, 60,000, without using my degree, eventually I'm going to find somewhere for my degree to fit. And I'm going to try to turn that 50 and double it. And that's just my whole motivation. How can I double my money? That's what I'm about every day I wake up. How can I go ahead and double my cash? Because if I can't I ain't got a plan to double my cash, then what am I doing here? So yeah. But yeah, I'm at the VA hospital. I'm okay. This is not. They're just gonna take some blood. And, this is an annual thing that you have to come to, or they'd be like, you don't need us anymore. So that's what this is. It's quiet. So one thing about the VA hospital is if you the thing about the VA hospital is if you are just lonely, you can come up here and sit here and nobody says anything to you. They don't go, hey, what are you doing here? Nobody questions you. Nobody. Don't say nothing to you. You can just sit here all day and mind your business. Nobody says anything to you. And it's one of the only places in the world that I know that I can come and nobody cares. And I just love it. I love it. And if you want to start talking to people, you can. You can go, you can find a group of guys hanging around and they'll start talking to you about their military experience. They'll just chat it up with you. So, yeah. This is a good place for older people. For the old World War II. Some of those guys are here. You see their hats that they wear for the Navy. Yeah, some of those guys 70 years old. They up in here. They'll tell you some stories. They'll tell you what ship they was on. What they've seen. One guy seen a UFO. He was in the Triangle. He was in his high 60s. He had a young girlfriend too. She was like in her 30s. Cute as heck. I was like, you go, boy. She was cute. And but he was like, yeah, we was on a ship in the Bermuda Triangle. He said, and all of us went out, while we were in, I forgot what country they stopped at. He said they all bought new watches. And they were all like these really nice high-end watches. I don't know if they was Rolex, I don't think they was Rolex, but they were really nice high-end watches. And if you know anything about the Navy, the way the military tells time is different from anybody else. But a military watch has different readings on it. And when you buy a military watch, like, that this is not a high-end like Gucci or nothing like that, but it's well made because it has to go through a bunch of rugged stuff. So, I tell anybody, get a military watch. Get something like a G-Shock. This is why this watch is so popular, because it's like a military watch. So they had on really good watches, and a whole bunch of them did. Well, he said, all of a sudden, all of our watches stopped. And they're on a ship in the middle of the ocean. He said, all of our watches stopped, and we all was looking at our watch. He said, and then all the watches on the ship, they all stopped too. They all came to a screeching halt. And then he said there was like a cloud over us, and it was like we were sitting still, but it's like time was sitting still. And he said, all of a sudden, we saw a UFO, a round object, come up under our ship, move very slowly, and then pass right by it. And as soon as it got out of sight, our watches started all over again. True story. He said it was like everything started. Everybody's watches started at the same time. So these aliens or whoever they are, what they're doing is, this was in a triangle. He was in a triangle, Bermuda Triangle. So what they're doing is they're stopping time, and they can stop time and still move through time. We can't stop time. That's the one thing we can't do. These creatures can stop time, and they can move through time as in real time. So you know how these Navy pilots are saying they see these objects, and these objects are moving so fast that it's impossible how they move. And then that UFO that was at the airport at O'Hara in Chicago, the alien spaceship came, sat like this, and then boom, went up in the sky in a flashlight. That's how they're able to do it. See, our perception of time is different from theirs. So if you just do this, take your finger and put it on the side of your face and move it in front of your nose. Blink, hold your eyes still, move it all the way to the other side and open your eyes. That's what they're doing. So if you go like this, it makes it seem like it moved, your finger moved in a blink of an eye. It seems like your finger moved past your face in a millisecond. That's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they're stopping time and then moving, and then you're seeing it again. That's what's going on. And that's how they're able to move so quickly. We see it, they stop time, boom. And here's the thing, we don't know how long they can stop time. So if you see something and it's moving at a super fast, unreal speed, it's not. What you're doing is you're only seeing it in fractions. You're not seeing the whole thing. You're not seeing it move in your real time. You're seeing it in fractions of your time. That's what's going on. It's the same thing if you're filming something and it's moving so fast it's making the film clip. You're seeing fractions of it. Click, 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 click. That's what you're doing. Well, that's what's happening into your eyes in real time. You're only seeing fractions of the object in real time, and that's what's making it move faster. Hell, those things could probably move 30 miles an hour, but you won't know it because your time is being cut. And the more your time gets cut and the more they delay your time, the faster it seems those objects are moving. That's what's going on. But, yeah. So my appointment is at 2:20. My watch is off. I didn't know we were an hour behind. My appointment is at 2:20. Talk to this doctor, female doctor. She cool. She a nerd like me. Her and her husband, they nerds. So we have good conversation because she's a nerd. I used to have these doctors from India. I ain't like none of them, male or female. I ain't like none of them. I was like, give me another doctor. That's another thing here at the VA. If you don't like your doctor, you can request another one. You'd be like, I don't like her. There was one doctor here that was here that was my girl, boy. She was black. She was cool. But that's before this hospital. See, this hospital is new. It's a new facility. It's all new. It isn't even 5 years old. Yeah. This hospital ain't even 5 years old. Well, I don't think it's 5 years old. But what did you done say? Kind of reminds me of the books I used to get when I was young, and you flip the page. That's exactly what's going on. Real quick, to make it look like that's exactly what's happening. They're doing that with time. Okay, so if someone who is outside of the time loop that they used when the ship saw them, if somebody was on the outside of that, they would have saw a UFO move from one end of the time loop into, but they would have never seen it go into the time loop. Then they would have seen it come out of the time loop. So it would have made it seem like it, zipped past them real quick. That's not what it did. What it did was it stopped your perception, and then it came. And then when you caught up with time, you saw it again, but it was in a whole, it was 200 yards another way. And then it did it again, and then it did it again, and it can do it super fast, just like you're flipping those pages. So it can just go blip, 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 blip. And you're just like, whoa. But when it blinks once in the sky, it can move 10, 20, 30 miles. Or it could just be gone. It can just blip right out of sight. Blip, it's gone. You're like, where'd it go? Well, it was cruising at, 1,000 miles an hour, which is nothing in the sky. But, you can't keep up with that when your time stops. It stops. And the thing about it is, how it stops your time is it's actually stopping its time around it. So it doesn't come to you and then stop your time. What it does is it stops time perception around it. So wherever it goes, time is slower. So if it approaches you and says, hey, come. This is why when people are abducted, they see all this stuff, and then they go back and it was never like they left. That's because when you're abducted, you're taken into a time bubble. And you can be there for years. But when you come back, it's only a couple seconds. Yeah, you come back, it's like you never left there. They can put you right back in the same position. And a lot of people are claiming to be abducted at night. Spaceship has, they've seen spaceships hover overhead and then snatch people and then return to people. And when the people are returned, it's still the same time at night. And they're just like, how did this just happen? Well, when you got snatched, immediately your time was snatched too. Yeah, so it's not a hard concept to understand, but I bet it's hard to do. Stop time around. Okay, here's another example of that. So recently, there's been objects that have been floating in the sky, or like the other day, I saw a video where there was a tree. It was a tree just floating, and then people were driving down the highway. This is what young Pharaoh is. Oh, really? Huh. I need to start listening to young Pharaoh again. Sometimes he was saying stuff that was like, but it might could have. So basically, these people was driving down the street, and they said, look, there's a tree. And the tree was just sitting there, and they drove right up under it. And then another guy who was delivering, him and another dude, they were delivering packages. They said, yo, I got to film this. And they turned the camera on, and there was a broom that was maybe 20 feet, clear as day. And the broom was moving. It was moving like this. Like Harry Potter was on top of it, but it was just sitting there. And he was like, yo, look at this broom. It is just like there's a witch on it. It's not moving anywhere. Like, how is this possible? Because that got caught into a time loop. It's caught in a time loop. That's what's happening to it. And the way we're perceiving it is not what's really going on. So when somebody comes along and sees one of those birds who are stuck like that, and then they jab the bird, what they're doing is they're taking the bird out of the time loop and putting it in our real time. Because birds get stuck like that too. They're just, and sometimes they're actually flapping. They're stuck in a time loop. They're stuck in a time loop. And if you come along and hit it, anything that bothers it brings it back into our real time, then the bird starts flapping again. But here's the thing about it. That bird doesn't realize it's in a time loop. It doesn't realize it's going from that time is still moving, but it's not moving. The bird thinks it's still moving. So when you're in a time loop, when you get taken up into, outer space or underwater, wherever they take you, you think time is still relative. It's still moving, but your time is no longer moving. Your time is actually still until something from our time comes and disturbs your time, and then it wakes you up. It's the same. It's like having an operation. When you fall asleep, you don't know that you're getting cut on. You're just dreaming, and when you wake up, in a whole different place. You wake up on a whole different bed. People are talking to you, asking you how your day was. When you just fell asleep a second ago, you woke up in a whole different bed, and you're just like, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to grasp reality is the same thing. They do the same thing. But see, in your dreams, your time was still relative. There are a lot of strange things that many don't understand. Yeah. Well, see, I'm just now starting to get a hold of some of this stuff. And I'm not, I don't know quantum physics. But one day I did try to look up quantum physics. I tried to look up quantum mathematics. Don't do it to yourself. No, you're talking to somebody who's barely made it past algebra. Quantum physics is on a whole nother level. It is. So however they're doing this, they are wise beyond our years. They're so smart. But that's how they're doing it. They're using quantum physics to move around the planet. And that's why you can't see them. That's why you don't know that they're there until they want you to know. I've seen some before, right in my house. Jumped right up. And they usually come when you're sleeping. But one day I knew that they was there. I woke up and I saw them, standing at the foot of my bed. And I jumped out of my bed and I said, I saw you. I've seen them a couple times. Shadow figures. I've seen them a couple times. I was like, I saw you. I want you. When they know that you see them, then they're not likely to come back. But yeah, I've seen them before. Scary as hell, I'll tell you right now. But yeah, so that's what's happening to these people. And like I said, I don't know anything about quantum physics, quantum mechanics. It's just so, it would give me a headache to try to figure out any quantum physics problem. Do you think maybe someone died where you live? No. Nope. They came through either my TV or my telephone. Nah. I was watching something I shouldn't have. And then boom, they show up. Because spirits travel through our electronics. That was all it was. One time, they entered into my dreams because my two nieces was watching porn. They was watching gay porn. And I didn't know it. They was watching on my iPad. But see, they came to visit me one day with my brother, and they were sleeping in my computer room where you guys usually see me. I was sleeping in my room. My brother was sleeping downstairs, and they said, hey, can we use your iPad? And I was like, yeah, I didn't want them using my computer. I said, yeah, go ahead. So they were in there watching gay people have sex, and I didn't know that this is what's going on until they left. And I went to sleep the next night, and I had a dream that I got attacked. This demon attacked me in my sleep, and it was a terrible nightmare. And I woke up like, why would I have such a horrible dream like this? And and then I called my brother. I was like, yo, put one of them on the phone. And I was like, yo, what were you girls watching on my iPad? What the hell were you watching? they told me what they was watching. I was like, for one, you're not gay, so cut that out. And I was like, two, don't ever watch that stuff because these demons are in my house now, and I got to, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost and get them out of my house, and that's not easy. 13 and 12. They graduated high school now. Yeah, they were 13 and 12. Just little horny little heifers. Thinking they can do what they want. I was like, what in the hell are y'all? Like, I was like, why are you watching this? I yelled at them so bad. I was like, don't y'all ever come to my house with that. See, because they're not spiritual sensitive. Because they're doing all kind of stuff and they're blind. But I'm spiritual sensitive. So I was able to see, and wake up to it like, yo, don't you ever come here and do that again. And they've never even been back to my house again. They're grown now. They have their own life going on, doing whatever. I think they're grown, 16, 17, or something. I don't know. I don't keep up with them. But, yeah, so just being a bunch of hornballs. But gay porn? Porn is one thing, but gay porn, oh God. Oh, what? You want to talk about some evil? You want to talk about spirits that are totally opposed to God? Anything gay is totally contrary to God. 100%. It's violently contrary to God. Because God says rebellion is of witchcraft. See, that's why and God says that homosexuality is an abomination. So if you openly practice homosexuality, you are being rebellious to the Lord. He says that's of witchcraft, and that's why he hates it, because it's of witchcraft. You know how hard that is? That is some hardcore demonic stuff. You do not want to play with any of that because they're coming to see you. Those demons will form right in front of you. I mean, and look, they're terrible. They are terrible. They're coming for you. They're coming to snatch you, take you. Don't mess with them. I had a spirit at my house. And I had a girlfriend over. And at one time, her children had came to visit with her. A couple times, because we were dating. This time it was just me and her. We were sitting in my computer room and we heard her son's voice, clear as day. And her son wasn't there. And we just both looked at each other. Because we heard his voice. And we know the phone wasn't on. We were talking to each other and his voice just said, and it said, Mom. The blind are flying up. That spirit knew or remembered that child's voice and used his voice and said, Mom, and that spirit called that woman right in front of us. And she was just like, needless to say, she don't come back over. She's scared to death of me. Oh, I'm scared of me. Yeah, that demon said, Mom. She just looked like, I was like, shoot. I did live in one place where I think somebody died because there was a spirit in my closet. And it would come out when my company would come over. One time, this girl came over and she was a Christian, just like me. She was sitting there shaking. This is my old apartment. She said, I feel like the closet door is going to swing open. This thing would knock stuff over in my house just for me to know it's there. Hell, it might be the same damn spirit that's in my house now. Because it's doing stuff too, just making noise. One time it happened while I was, doing a live stream. last week. And if you look at some of my videos from last week, you'll see me stop and look around. That's it. Made a loud ass noise. That noise I thought came from next door. That was in my room while I was talking to you guys. Kid you not. And I just played it off because, I knew what was going on, but I ain't have time to do the whole thing. But every now and then it'll manifest. It'll grab something. Sometimes it'll take something to knock it over. One time I was at my refrigerator downstairs in my apartment now, and I was cleaning my refrigerator, and I heard the shelves that your stuff sits on. I heard the shelf go bang. And I didn't see it move, and I was looking like, I know I just heard the shelf. I was like, all right, no. I've never seen any doors slam or anything like that. It's just usually it'll move something around. One time it took, in my old apartment, it took my mouse pad and my mouse and knocked them on the floor. And I came out of my room and went in there and saw my mouse pad and my mouse on the floor. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? Are you mad about something? Sometimes I talk to it, like, get out. Especially if it disturbs my company. It'll really, like, get out. I get pissed. You mess with my friends. And I got to go and banish you. They don't want nothing to do with that. Go get that holy water on their ass. Well, you put that holy water on their monkey ass, they get mad. Don't mess with my friends. So, yep, VA. Everything is wiped down, super clean. Everything is no touch. Look at this no touch. See that? All right, I gotta get off the phone because I gotta put my mask back on. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.